What is up, my General Hospital family? It is pouring rain here in New York tonight, but the real storm is brewing in Port Charles. Today we are breaking down the May 18th spoilers. Curtis is losing his mind. Jocelyn is playing mind games on Spoon Island and Carly is lying to the feds again. Let's get into it. I cannot believe Curtis Ashford right now. I mean, I am literally typing this at 2:00 a.m. because I am so fired up. Cannot even sleep. Are you kidding me with this guy? We need to talk about what goes down at the Metro Court Gardens because my jaw actually hit the floor. So Portia and Isaiah are just trying to have a nice, peaceful dinner. Portia has been stressed out of her mind lately. She is pregnant. She is trying to keep the peace and she just wants one normal evening. Isaiah is being the perfect gentleman. He reaches out and touches Portia's baby bump in what is clearly a warm, innocent, friendly moment. And then who comes stomping in like he owns the entire universe? Curtis. He literally shouts, "Take your hands off my child." In the middle of the restaurant, I am sorry, but who does Curtis think he is? I have been watching this show religiously since 2015 and I have seen some possessive, toxic behavior. But this takes the absolute cake. Portia's a grown woman. She is a doctor. She does not need Curtis barking orders about who is allowed to touch her own body. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up because the hypocrisy here is what is really making my blood boil. Curtis is out here acting like the ultimate protector of his unborn child. But let's look at what he is actually doing. He is actively trying to frame Isaiah for a hit-and-run crash that Isaiah did not even commit. We all know Brooke Quartermain is the one who hit the guardrail and caused Jordan's crash, and she just kept driving. But Curtis, oh no. Curtis has decided Isaiah is the villain because of a scratch on his SUV from a parking blunder. He literally pointed Ava at Justin Turner at Isaiah. And now that Justin says her hands are tied, Curtis is vowing to take matters into his own hands. So, he is essentially trying to ruin an innocent man's life. And then he has the absolute nerve to scream at that same man for sharing a sweet moment with Portia. Portia better stand up to him. I swear if she just cowers and apologizes to Curtis, I'm going to throw my remote at the television. She needs to look him dead in the eye and tell him that he does not control her. He doesn't get to decide who she is friends with, and he certainly doesn't get to act like a caveman in public. I know some people are still rooting for Curtis and Portia, but personally I am so over his macho complex. But okay, let's move on to Spoon Island because my blood pressure cannot take much more of Curtis. Can we talk about Jocelyn, Jax, and Cassies? Because this storyline is giving me absolute whiplash. Jocelyn is currently being held hostage at Windermere by this fake Nathan West psychopath. And the audacity of this man is truly something to behold. Jocelyn is sitting there in captivity, rightfully complaining about being a prisoner against her will. And Cassies actually has the nerve to argue that she should be thanking him. Yes, you heard me right. He tells her that she was going to get herself killed with all her digging around, and that holding her hostage is somehow a preferable alternative. I'm sorry, what? You do not get to kidnap a young woman, lock her up on a creepy island, and then play the hero. It is classic gaslighting and it makes my skin crawl. But here's the thing, and this is why I love Jocelyn even when she frustrates me. She is Carly's daughter through and through. She is not just going to sit there and cry. The spoilers say that Cassies is going to open up to someone unexpected on Friday. And you know what? That has to be part of Jocelyn's plan. She's going to manipulate him. She's going to play the sympathetic ear, get him to drop his guard and become his confidant. Remember when they tried this kind of hostage plot with other characters in the past? The captor always makes the mistake of thinking they have broken the captive. But Jocelyn is just biding her time. She is going to figure out his weak spots, use his own twisted logic against him, and the second he turns his back, she is going to make her move. I am totally here for it. I want to see Jocelyn outsmart a Faison. I want to see her tear his entire operation down from the inside. Dante is already furious with Cassius for his role in hiding Rocco's secret. So the walls are closing in on this guy from all sides. I just hope Jocelyn doesn't push too hard, too fast, and actually get herself hurt. Because Cassius is unpredictable and dangerous. And speaking of Carly, let's talk about the absolute circus that is her front door right now. I swear, Carly's house is like Grand Central Station for fugitives, feds, and people hiding from the law. So Ross Cullen shows up at her and Carly's not happy. Who would be? Cullen has been a thorn in everyone's side. And now he is essentially running the WSB field office since Jack Brennan is completely incapacitated. Carly answers the door, insists she has no idea why he is there, and makes it crystal clear she has zero desire to talk to him. But this is Cullen, so of course he pushes his way in and starts grilling her anyway. Carly, being the absolute master of deflection that she is, decides to use her supposed breakup with Jack Brennan as an excuse. She throws that in Cullen's face, probably hoping it will shut him up, but it just leaves him with more questions. She is dodging and weaving like a pro boxer, and ultimately she manages to send Cullen on his way without giving up the goods. But you guys, the best part of this entire scene, Valentin Cassadine is literally hiding in her house while this is happening. I can just picture Valentin lurking in the shadows or standing behind a door, holding his breath while Carly lies straight to the face of the WSB. It is so intense, and as soon as Colum leaves, Valentin comes out and they immediately have a strategy session about their next move. Because let's not forget the massive glaring elephant in the room. Jack Brennan is paralyzed because Nina accidentally stabbed him with Drew's medication. And Valentin is probably planning to hide Brennan's incapacitated body in Carly's attic. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. Very, very dangerous game here. She's lying to a federal agent, harboring Valentin, and potentially about to harbor a drug WSB boss. If Colum finds out that Brennan didn't just disappear, but is actually locked in a state of paralysis in Carly's house, she is going to federal prison. But I love the dynamic between Carly and Valentin right now. They're this chaotic, vengeful alliance, and they are in way over their heads, but they are surviving on pure adrenaline and lies. I know some fans hate Carly being in the middle of mob and spy drama, but honestly, this is when she shines the brightest. Okay, back to the point because I need to talk about something that is actually breaking my heart. Harrison Chase and Brooke Lynn Quartermain. My Challen heart cannot take the emotional roller coaster they are putting these two through. On Monday, they are going to start their search into Delilah Wilson's past. They are trying to explore every single possible option when it comes to finding baby Phoebe's biological family. And you can just feel the devastation radiating off the screen. It would completely break their hearts if they had to give up Phoebe. They have already started picturing their lives with this little girl. They had that adoption strategy session with Alexis Davis. And now they are doing the right thing by looking into Delilah, even though it might mean losing the baby. It is so incredibly unfair. Chase is such a good guy and he wants to be a father so badly. And Brooklyn, oh man. Brooklyn is already a walking ball of anxiety and guilt. She is carrying the massive secret that she is the one who hit Jordan's car and caused the crash. She's watching Isaiah take the fall for it. She's watching Curtis go on a rampage. And she is just eating herself alive with guilt. If she loses Phoebe on top of all that, she's going to completely break down. And let's not forget that Michael Corinthos is lurking in the background, actively plotting to push Chase and Willow back together just to ruin Willow's custody chances. Chase doesn't even know he's walking into a trap every time he talks to Willow about the adoption. The poor guy is just trying to build a family, and he's surrounded by secrets and manipulation. I am dreading this storyline because I just know it's going to end in tears. But I am also glued to the screen because Amanda Setton and Josh Swickard are acting their absolute hearts out. And then we have the Davis family drama. Molly Lansing Davis is celebrating her upcoming book tour, which is amazing, good for her. But of course, it means her parents have to be in the same room. Rick Lansing and Alexis Davis are going to come together for a dinner, and Alexis flat out asks Rick if he's going to have an issue tonight. Rick assures her that he is perfectly capable of getting along for their daughter's sake, at least for one dinner. Yeah, right. I give it exactly 5 minutes before Rick makes some passive-aggressive comment, and Alexis bites his head off. Rick has been dealing with all that drama with Sunny and Ava and the secret art gift for Elizabeth. So he is already on edge. But I do love seeing the family dynamic, even when it is messy. It grounds the show when there are so many high-stakes spy and mob plots happening at the same time. Speaking of Elizabeth, the spoiler says she is going to use Dante Falconry as her confidant, and their bond is continuing to grow. I am actually really enjoying this friendship. Liz was the one who figured out the forensics on Rocco Slideburn and helped Dante realize that his own son shot Ross Cullen. Dante is dealing with so much betrayal right now. Lulu lied to him, Nathan lied to him, Rocco lied to him. He is furious and terrified for his son. Having Elizabeth there as a steady, logical sounding board is exactly what he needs right now. And finally, we have Ava Justin Turner meeting with Jordan Ashford. Justin is asking Jordan what it would take to get her back in that room, whether they are talking about Jordan's career or just getting her back to their yoga class. It is so nice to see Justin trying to lift Jordan's spirits. Jordan has been through the ringer with her injuries from the crash, and she needs a friend right now, especially since her ex-husband Curtis is out there losing his mind in public. Look, I know I am ranting, but this is why we love General Hospital, right? It makes us feel things. It makes us want to scream at our screens at 2:00 a.m. We are invested in these people. Whether it's Curtis acting like a completely unhinged caveman, Jocelyn trying to outsmart a psychopath on Spoon Island, or Carly playing a high-stakes game of